Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. This message is primarily for my team, those that are thinking about joining my team, and kind of just in general, and some of my opinions, some of my feelings on team players. What does it mean to be a team player? What does it mean to be not necessarily team building, but what does it mean to be part of a team? To be a person that can be counted on, be an effective team player. So I kind of did a search online because I have my opinions, but I wanted to make sure that they weren't so far off that they were just not proper, or that they were not looked upon as something that could be doable, that I was thinking out of what I would do and not necessarily what everybody else would do, kind of a thing. Okay, so I did find some stuff and I want to share it with you because I think that it actually fit pretty well. You know, we have Team Positive Sense, or the TPS family, is a strong example of positive players as well as supportive players. There are times that we forget, there are times that we overlook, there are times that we are not on point. We all have bad days, right? But I think for the most part, we're collectively a pretty solid, motivating, supportive, positive group. When we're not, unfortunately, when you set a precedence, you tend to hurt feelings. You tend to feel neglected. You know, and I guess that's kind of the scenario of, you know, when you are spoiled and then somebody stops spoiling you, you take it very personally, you take it hurtfully. And I think that, you know, in a sense, we are all human. We all have the ability to mess up. We all have the ability to screw up, to forget, to just not be at our best. So hopefully a little bit of this is resonating with you, and you're going to understand where I'm going with this video. You know, I think it's really important to try very, very hard all the time, even when you're off your game, even when you are feeling glum, even when you are feeling that this is harder than it may seem. And I think that, again, this goes with our mindset that if you are feeling that way, then that is actually what you are projecting. It's what perception you're giving. And that can be, you know, it can cause some reactions. Let's put it that way. So here are 10 qualities to an effective team player. And if you are on my team, I want you to think about how you interact on our team page, how you interact off the team page, and reflect and be honest with yourself and really internalize and say, okay, am I doing these things? Am I truly being or trying to be the best team player that I possibly can be? Because ultimately some of these skills or some of these traits or some of these characteristics can bleed off into your personal life, and it's just going to make you a better person. It's just going to make you a more understanding person. And that's pretty important when you're talking about your family, your actual family, and being a team player within your family. Okay, so let's internalize some things. Let's be honest with each other. Let's be honest with ourselves, and see how this progresses. Okay. So one of the first things that it mentions is a team player demonstrates reliability. Okay? You can count on a reliable team member who gets work done and does his fair share to work hard and meet commitments. He or she follows through on assignments. Their consistency is key, and you can count on him or her to deliver good performance all the time, not just some of the time. Okay? Now, I also want to make a point here. Scentsy consultants are independent consultants. We are not dependent on everyone else. We are not dependent on our sponsors. We're not dependent on our uplines. We're not dependent on our team. However, a stronger team base and a stronger support system will always make you more successful in your business. That is a fact, okay? So if we go into this saying, Team Positive Sense is a very supportive team, we are going to succeed even more because of the fact that we have a very strong knit team. We have a very strong support system. We encourage each other. We motivate each other. We support each other. We answer each other's questions. And sometimes we go out of our way to help people in situations that they might be having. Okay? Demonstrates reliability. Communicates constructively. Teams need people who speak up and express their thoughts and ideas clearly, directly, honestly, and with respect for others and for the work of the team. That's what it means to communicate constructively. Such a team member does not shy away from making a point, but makes it in a way that is positive, confident, and respectful. Okay? So that's like talking to your family, to your kids, to your spouse. You want to be respectful, but you want to get your point across without making them feel shunned or making them feel like you've targeted them or that you've pointed them out or you've put them out there so that they're kind of just on their own. So being polite, being respectful, being positive, and being confident in what it is that you are trying to get across is so important. We can, and I tell my kids this all the time, we can correct people with love versus correct people with ego. So if I present myself to someone with ego, I'm going to ultimately get a roadblock. If I present to them with love, then I'll probably get received much better. Okay. Next is listens actively. So good listeners are essential for teams to function effectively. Teams need team players who can absorb, understand, and consider ideas and points of view from other people without debating or arguing every point. Such a team member can also receive criticism without reacting defensively. That is so important. Most important, for effective communication and problem solving, team members need the discipline to listen first and speak second, so that meaningful dialogue results. That is such a huge point. We tend to do that a lot. When we differ in opinion with somebody, a lot of times we get, because maybe we're very passionate about what it is that we're believing in, we get so defensive and that other person's opinion just can't be right. And so that's when you start butting heads and people are just, getting negative and all of a sudden now we've got a spiral effect and everybody's kind of getting in on it and people are giving their opinions and it's getting nowhere. Okay? I want to read this one again because I think it's really important. They listen actively. Good listeners are essential for teams to function effectively. Teams need team players who can absorb, understand, and consider ideas and points of view from other people without debating and arguing every point. Such a team member also can receive criticism without reacting defensively. Most important, for effective communication and problem solving, team members need the discipline to listen first and speak second, so that meaningful dialogue results. Okay? Not necessarily that this is happening on the TPS page. I've seen it happen a lot in other pages and other groups. And I see it happen in family members and family units. So, that's a really important thing, to listen first, speak second. The next one is functions as an active participant. Good team players are active participants. They come prepared for team meetings and listen and speak up in discussions. They're fully engaged in the work of the team and do not sit passively on the sidelines. Team members who function as active participants take the initiative to help make things happen, and they volunteer for assignments. Their whole approach is can-do. What contribution can I make to help the team achieve success? I love that quote. What contribution can I make to help the team achieve success? What can I do more? John O'Leary talks about that at our reunion in St. Louis. What can I do more? Right? So a team member is an active participant. They answer questions, they give resources, they motivate, they cheerlead. All of those things are very, very important, especially in our team page, because that's where we all collectively get together and coexist. So if somebody asks a question, answer them. If you don't know the answer, just say, I don't really know the answer. Maybe somebody else knows. But at least make an effort to answer the question. Don't leave people hanging. That is so important. So I know I get very passionate about that because it's a struggle for me on the team page to see somebody post something and nobody answers. And you know what? Not everybody's going to know the answer to all the questions. And if you do, you might come across as a know-it-all, which is not a great thing either. But at least respond, hit like, respond to somebody and say, I don't really know the answer, but maybe somebody else does, maybe so-and-so does. Tag somebody you think might know the answer so that that question gets seen. Don't leave people hanging, okay? To me, that is hurtful, and it's just unnecessary. I have almost 400 people in our group right now. There's no reason why a question can't be somewhat answered or liked or whatever, okay? Next is shares openly and willingly. That's kind of along the same line. Good team players share. They're willing to share information, knowledge, and experience. They take the initiative to keep other team members informed. Much of the communication within teams takes place informally, in a one-on-one discussion, in a little chat maybe. Beyond discussion at organized meetings, team members need to feel comfortable talking with one another and passing along important news and information day to day. Good team members are active in this informal sharing. They keep other team members in the loop with information and expertise that helps get the job done and prevents surprises. I do it all the time. I have people that are not on my team. I share my knowledge all the time. Why? Because it makes me a better consultant, a better person. It makes me feel good, and it helps somebody else. Now, if you're doing that within your own team, you're just making a stronger team. You're making yourself stronger. You're making your team members stronger. You're making the whole team as a whole stronger. Share the information. Share your ideas. That's what this is all about, right? They cooperate and pitch in to help. Cooperation is the act of working with others and acting together to accomplish a job. Effective team players work this way by second nature. Good team players, despite differences they may have with other team members concerning style and perspective, figure out ways to work together to solve problems and get work done. They respond to requests for assistance and take the initiative to offer help. What I was just talking about, right? They respond to requests for assistance and take the initiative to offer help. Guys, this is just a character trait. This is not something that is so hard to do that I'm asking people to be well beyond their means of who they can possibly be. Being a team player is something that you have to live throughout all of your life in all of society, right? And so we're just kind of cutting it down to being a team player within Scentsy. Exhibits flexibility. Teams often deal with changing conditions and often create changes themselves. Good team players roll with the punches. They adapt to ever-changing situations. They don't complain or get stressed out because something new is being tried or some new direction is being set. In addition, a flexible team player can consider different points of views and compromise when needed. He or she doesn't hold rigidly to a point of view and argue it to death, especially when the team needs to move forward to make a decision or to get something done. Strong team players are firm in their thoughts, yet open to what others have to offer. Flexibility at its best. Woo! Are we not going through this with Scentsy right now? There are some changes happening. They have reimagined Scentsy. There are things changing in Canada. There are things changing in the US and Australia and in Europe. Things are changing. It is inevitable. Growth makes us change. If we're not growing, we're not changing. If we're not changing, we're not growing, right? So we have to adapt to this. We have to roll with the punches and stay positive with it. Find ways to make yourself understand why these changes are happening rather than pushing them away and saying, I don't want to change. I don't want to change. I don't want to do this. All right? It's important to adapt to change and help others adapt too. Okay, the next one is shows commitment to the team. Strong team players care about their work, the team, and the team's work. They show up every day with this care and commitment up front. They want to give a good effort and they want other team members to do the same. So I just posted on my page about the key and the fact that if you owned a store, you would have to go and turn the key and open up your store every day. You would have to get up, get in your car, drive down the road, open the door, open the store, get your register ready, and do all of those things to go into business. Scentsy's no different. You need to do that every day. So if you're going to expect your team members to do that, then you need to expect it from yourself as well, right? So we need to make sure that we are committed to what we're doing, that we have passion in what we're doing, and if you don't, find out why not. Help each other to find out why not. Help encourage people to find your why, to find that commitment in what you're doing, okay? Works as a problem solver. Teams, of course, deal with problems. Sometimes it appears that's the whole reason why a team is created, to address problems. Good team players are willing to deal with all kinds of problems in all solutions-oriented manner. They're problem solvers, not problem dwellers, problem blamers, or problem avoiders. They are problem solvers. They don't simply rehash a problem the way problem dwellers do. They don't look for others to fault as the blamers do, and they don't put off dealing with issues the way the avoiders do. Team players get problems out in the open for discussion and then collaborate with others to find solutions and form action plans. That is a great thing. I see this often. Somebody posts a rant or a vent, and then all of a sudden everybody's hopping on board that same wagon and just reaffirming what the person is venting about. Well, let's not reaffirm what we're venting about. Let's find a solution and fix the problem rather than having spiral out of control and then all of a sudden Edie has to delete the post because it spiraled out of control and everybody's venting. It's okay to vent, but let's be problem solvers. Let's find out resolutions that can help to fix these things. You know, encourage people. Find the positive spin on things. And it's not that you have to be happy about everything, but everything happens and you don't always have control over it, but you do have control on how you resolve it in your head or how you get through it or how you get past the obstacle, right? You know, so team players get problems out in the open for discussion and then collaborate with the others to find solutions and form action plans to fix it, okay? All right, now one of the last things is it treats others in a respectful and supportive manner. Team players treat fellow team players with courtesy and consideration, not just some of the time, but consistently. In addition, they show understanding and the appropriate support of other team members to help get the job done. They don't place conditions on when they'll provide assistance, when they'll choose to listen, and when they'll share information. Good team players always have a sense of humor and know how to have fun, and all teams can use a little of both. But They don't have fun at someone else's expense. Quite simply, effective team players deal with other people in a professional manner. Team players who show commitment don't come in any particular style or personality. They don't need to be rah-rah cheerleader types. In fact, they may even be soft-spoken, but they aren't passive. They care about what the team is doing, and they contribute to its success without needing a push. Team players with commitment look beyond their own piece of work and care about the team's overall work. In the end, their commitment is about winning. Not in the sports sense of beating your opponent, but about seeing the team succeed and knowing that you and they have contributed to the success. Winning as a team is one of the great motivators of employee performance. Good team players have and show this motivation. So treat people with respect and support. Okay. That was a lot, right? I, first of all, want you to know that this is not something that I made up. This is something that I found on the internet, Managing Team for Dummies. But let me tell you, Marty Brownstein, this is some good stuff. This is actually what I think resonated with me the most to be able to share it with you. You know, I definitely feel that being a team player is something that's going to benefit not only you, but your team, but also your surrounding people, your family, your kids, your spouses, your, other people that you might work with at another job. Who knows? But being a team player is so significantly important to who you are as a person that I felt it was important enough to share a video. Okay? So let me recap real quick. An effective team player demonstrates reliability. They communicate constructively, meaning with a positive, confident, and respectful manner. They listen actively, okay? So they are having effective communication and problem solving without debating and arguing. They function as an active participant. Be fully engaged on the team page. Be fully engaged at the team meetings, okay? They share openly and willingly. You share the information and the knowledge that you know. Not because you want to hoard it to yourself and say, well, if I know the information, nobody else can do it. I'll be much more successful than everybody else. Guess what? By sharing, you become more successful. They cooperate and pitch in to help. The cooperation is the act of working with and acting together to accomplish a job together. They respond to requests for assistance and take the initiative to offer help. They exhibit flexibility. Teams often deal with changes, and it is best to be able to roll with the punches, right? Roll with them. Show commitment to the team. Show that you care about their work and them as a team, and not just yourself. They work as a problem solver. They help. They're problem solvers, not problem dwellers, not problem blamers, and not problem avoiders. And they treat others with respect and support. So I think to end this video, I want to make sure that you are the best that you can be. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your team. Be the best team player that you can possibly be. Be open and honest and knowledgeable. Share that knowledge and create an environment that is inviting for others to come in. Because remember, a big part of what we do is recruiting, right? We sponsor people. And in AA, your sponsor is someone that picks you up. It's someone that lifts you up when you're feeling lost and down. We're not that far different, but just in a different guidelines, right? We are here to support and lift each other and make us better people. So be an amazing team player. Create amazing team players. And hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you can take something away from it and share it with others. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.